Hey students, today we are going to discuss shades of meaning. Okay, look at these three words: stare, peek, glare, and their definition. Stare means to look at something for a while, that is, look for a long time. Whereas peek means to look at something quickly, like you can say that look quickly or secretly. Whereas glare means to look at something in an angry way, like look in an angry way. Okay, as you guys can notice, these words have similar meanings, but they are not exactly the same. There is a small difference in the strength or feeling. Okay, we can say that shades of meaning means that some words have similar meanings, but they are not exactly the same. There is a small difference in strength or feeling. So, we can say that this small difference is called shades of meaning. Okay? Okay. Let's discuss its examples. Okay. Which is larger, a village or a city? Tell me. Village is a small place where people live, whereas city is a large place with many buildings and people. So, city is large. Okay. The next one is a city is big. Oh, okay, let's discuss their examples. Okay, guys, tell me, which is larger, a village or a city? City is big and village is tiny. So we can say that city is larger. Okay, tell me, which is less comfortable, being starving or being hungry? Hungry means that you want to eat, whereas starving means you are extremely hungry. Starving means very, very hungry. So being starving is less comfortable. So, okay, tell me, which is harder, struggling or trying? Struggling means trying hard without getting anywhere. So, struggling is harder. Yes. Okay. What is the difference between throwing something and hurting something? Yes, hurting something means throwing it harder. So, hurting something uses more force. So, we can conclude that this is the right answer. Okay. What is the difference between slamming a door and shutting a door? Slamming a door means shutting it without a lot of force. So, slamming a door is more forceful. Slamming a door. As you guys can see that these words have similar meaning, but they are not exactly the same. Okay? Okay, here we have another activity. Describe the difference between related words. Okay, tell me which words show anger? Glance or glare? Glance is just a very quick look at something, whereas a glare is a long, angry look used to show someone you are upset. So, glare is a correct answer. Okay, which is sneaky? Walking around or creeping around? Walking is how we move normally every day, whereas creeping means moving very slowly and quietly so that nobody hears or sees you, which is a sneaky way to move. So, we can conclude that creeping around is a correct answer. Okay, which is thinner? A string or a rope? A rope is made of many thick strands twisted together to make it strong and heavy, whereas a string is much smaller and made of fewer fibers, making it the thinner of the two. So, string is a correct answer. Okay. The next one is, what is the difference between a letter and a note? A letter is usually a long message written on a full page and sent in an envelope, whereas a note is a very short message meant to be read quickly, like a reminder on a small piece of paper. So, note is shorter. Yes. Okay. Okay. What is the difference between something impossible and something difficult? We have option something impossible can't be done, something impossible can be done, and something difficult can't be done. If a task is difficult, it means it is hard and takes a lot of effort, but you can still finish it. If a task is impossible, it means there is no way at all to do it, no matter how hard you try. So we can conclude that option A is the best answer. Okay. What is the difference between borrowing something and stealing something? We have options. Stealing something is not as nice, borrowing something is not as nice, and stealing something is more polite. When you borrow, you ask for permission first and plan to give the item back. Whereas stealing means taking something without asking and without permission, which is unkind and wrong. So we can conclude that stealing something is not as nice is a correct answer. Okay. Okay, we have the next topic, positive and negative connotation. You know what is connotation? Connotation is basically the mood or feeling of a word. Like you can say that connotation is a feeling or idea that goes along with a word or phrase. We have some words that make us feel good, like you can say that they are positive connotation, and we have some words that make us feel slightly bad or annoyed, and we can say that they are negative connotation. Okay, let's discuss the example. We have two words, eager and impatient. Okay, both words mean that you are waiting for something to happen, but the vibe is different. Like eager means that imagine a student who raise their hands because they love the subject. They are smiling and excited. Like you can say that he is eager to start the lesson. It gives us positive vibe. Whereas impatient means that imagine someone taping their foot, look at their watch, and frowning because things are moving too slowly. They might be a bit rude or pushy. So we can say that impatient basically means uh, it has a negative connotation. You can say that it is not a nice word. Okay. Okay, here we have examples. Okay, which phrase has a more negative connotation? Like you can say that negative vibe. Glare off someone, look at someone. Okay, looking is neutral. It does not mean that you are happy or sad. However, glare specifically means that you are looking at someone with anger and dislike. It feels aggressive and mean, which is why it has a negative connotation. So, glare at someone has a more negative connotation. Okay, the next one is which phrase has a more positive connotation? Snooping for something, searching for something. Okay, snooping for something and searching for something basically means that both words mean you are trying to find something. Whereas searching sounds organized and okay. And snooping has a negative feel because it means that you are looking for something secretly or without permission. So, searching for something has a positive connotation. Okay? Okay, here we have another activity. Which phrase has a more negative connotation? The first one is feeling full versus feeling stuffed. Okay. Yes, feeling stuffed has a more negative connotation. Why? Because feeling full is a normal, satisfied feeling after eating, whereas feeling stuffed sounds like you ate way too much and now you feel uncomfortable or heavy. Okay? So the next one is a scowl at someone versus frown at someone. Yes, the correct answer is scowl at someone. Why? Because a frown can just mean you are sad or thinking hard, whereas a scowl is much angrier and meaner. It shows you are really upset or annoyed with someone. Okay? The next one is which phrase has a more positive connotation. Okay. The first one is startle someone, whereas surprise someone. Yes, it has a more positive connotation. A surprise is usually something you can say that fun or happy, like a birthday party, whereas being startled means you were scared or jumped because something happened suddenly. Okay? The next one is an eager person versus an impatient person. Yes, an eager person. Because an eager person is excited and ready to help or learn, whereas an impatient person is annoyed because they don't want to wait, which can come across as rude.